Hey guys, so today we're going to talk all about how to set boundaries. How do you set a boundary that someone's going to respect? How do you set a boundary and be clear on what your boundaries are? That's what we're talking about, so stay tuned. If you're new to the channel, my name is Eboni Harris, relationship therapist. I speak on all things love, sex, and dating. So if you're interested in having a more fulfilling love and sex life, make sure you subscribe and hit that notification button so that you don't miss a thing. So the first way that you want to set a boundary is you have to be clear on what the boundary is. Understand why you're trying to set the boundary, understand why it's important, and be clear on what that boundary is. There are times when we're trying to set a boundary, and when the person respects it, we realize that's not really what we want the boundary to be. So before you do anything, understand exactly what you want your boundaries to be. The second thing you need to know is this boundary important to you, or is it something that you think you should be doing? There are a lot of times when we decide like, oh, this is the boundary, or someone has told you that that should be your boundary, but it's not really about you and it's not really for you. So if this is not something that is important to you and it's just something that you feel like you should do, maybe that shouldn't be a boundary that you set. Figure out why this boundary is important and understand why it will make your life better. Once you get that, then it'll make it a lot easier to set it with someone else. The third thing you have to do is let go of the idea that this boundary is going to change someone else. The boundaries are not about anybody else but you. They may continue the behavior, they may continue to do it. You have to set the boundary, and then you have to decide what you're going to do if they continue to act in a certain manner. And we're going to get to that very shortly. Next, you have to make sure that you're clear with the person that you're trying to set a boundary with. You cannot be vague. You cannot kind of be iffy about it. You have to be very clear that this is a limit I'm setting and I need you to respect it. And if you don't respect it, I will have to make decisions that are best for myself. A lot of times people are like, I don't want to have to set an ultimatum. We as therapists, well, I'll say me, as a therapist, I have never had an issue with ultimatums. It's not to say that you better do this or not. It's just saying this is what is best for me and my life, and so that means I have to make a decision that is best for me. And the fifth thing that you have to do to set a boundary is to be willing to walk away. This does not mean that you have to completely leave the relationship and never talk to that person again. But if you see people crossing boundaries, you have to decide, okay, I'm no longer responding. Okay, I'm going to leave this situation today. Or maybe you do have to walk away completely. So those are 5 ways to set boundaries. If you have any other tips on how to set boundaries, leave a comment below.